Hello fellow audio nerds, I'm Steph and this is Major Hi-Fi. Today I have with me a very special earphone. It has 12 drivers and literally when I was listening to it, it gave me goosebumps. So I'm very excited to share my experience with you of the 64 Audio U12t earphones. The driver housing of these earphones is really pretty. It's made of aluminum, so it's both like pretty light considering its size, but also quite durable. The size is sort of large, so at first I was a little worried that maybe these wouldn't have a great fit for my ear, but actually I was impressed. They fit really well, and as you'll see, the cable sort of comes out and curls around the ear, so it really has a fitted feel to it, even though it's just a universal fit. Even though, yeah, 64 Audio makes a lot of custom earphones as well. But these have kind of a very sculpted feel to them. The cable has a braided style, so each wire is individually insulated. This particular cable is their premium cable, so it's actually silver-coated copper, which makes the impedance very low, and I'm, listening with this cable, you really can hear the dynamics come through on these earphones. The cable itself is really manageable, doesn't feel like an overbearing cable at all. It also feels very durable, and so I don't feel like you'd have to be ultra careful or precious with these, even though it is a $2,000 earphone. So I guess I probably would be very precious with these. So as I mentioned, these earphones have 12 drivers. 4 of them are for the low frequencies, 6 of them are for the mid frequencies, and then there's 1 for the high mids and 1 for the highs. Now those 2 high mid and then the high drivers take advantage of the TIA technology. The TIA technology is an open balanced armature driver. So basically what that means is that the openness of that driver really prevents the diaphragm from being obstructed. As a result, those diaphragms can really move quickly and in an undistorted sort of fashion. And that is sort of the exact experience that I had listening with these earphones. Additionally, these have a single bore design. So what does that mean? Basically, it means that they prevent the buildup of resonant frequencies. So unlike other earphones, which require a lot of dampening inside, these don't need all of that extra stuff. However, there are chambers inside here. Now the chambers are specifically tuned for the drivers themselves. So it's a really kind of interesting design. 64 Audio compares this to listening in a control room that's been acoustically modified, designed, built for the speakers in mind. So, that part of it sort of rings true to my ear, it relates to my direct experience. So it sort of makes sense that, this little housing, is really built with the drivers in mind. There's one other standout feature of this design, and it is the Apex technology. Now the Apex is basically a small vent in the earphone. Now normally when you plug an earphone into your ears, there's sort of a vacuum that's created, the air sort of gets trapped, and as a result of that, the pressure builds up and can kind of put some stress on your eardrum. It results in listening fatigue, and the Apex technology here really makes it so that some of that pressure is relieved through this reactive vent. And also, one thing that I'll get to a little bit later, but the Soundstage on these is really incredible. And the Apex actually contributes to that soundstage. There's an openness that sort of is able to come through because of that vent. So it's a really cool little piece of technology that, that 64 Audio included with these earphones. Now the Apex design here actually has different modules, so you can swap different ones in and out. And what that will do for you is give you more or less sound isolation depending on what you're looking for. So yeah, a very cool technology indeed. The low end of these earphones feels very mature. It's detailed and energetic, but not because of the level of the low frequencies. Really, I think that energy comes from the quickness and the detail of them. Now, the lows themselves are a little bit on the kind of quieter, polite side, although you will get some sub-frequencies from these that contributes a lot to, you know, all genres of music, really. I found that these earphones in general across the board sounded great with all genres. Now, just like the low end, the mid-range is also very detailed, spacious, and full, really. Bass guitars, pianos, organs, lower sort of synth instruments and strings, all of these feel very full, and yet you'll also find that they have a lot of separation from each other, which is such a unique quality, and I really appreciated that in these earphones. Now, the high mids feel pronounced, and as a result of that, vocals sort of sit higher in the mix than they would otherwise. But there wasn't really any harshness that came from that extra energy there. In fact, it felt quite smooth. It was super impressive and really made, you know, acoustic instruments and also like female vocals feel just amazing because you get all of the detail and clarity without it kind of, you know, making you cringe when they hit a high note or something like that. Yeah. Really, really awesome stuff there. The high frequencies. Now, the high frequencies to me were the most interesting. And as a reminder, this is now in the TIA technology frequency spectrum for, you know, crossover-wise. The high frequencies felt extra extended in a way that really made instruments feel real and in the room. You know, jazz music in particular, you know, these kind of genres that are recorded and mixed in such a way as to like create a soundstage, really sound awesome, especially in the high end. One particular instrument that felt really great were cymbals, which, you know, sometimes if you get kind of, you know, weirdness, or I don't even know how to put it, like not the full extension, you don't get all of those rich overtones from the cymbal. But with these, I really could hear that stuff. Now, as I mentioned, the soundstage of these was quite remarkable, and it wasn't over the top in the way that maybe like an iSign might feel over the top. It just felt very realistic to me. In all sort of areas, depth, width, the height felt particularly tall, and I guess maybe you know why, because of that high frequency extension. But really I was very impressed with sort of the three-dimensional sort of feeling from these that didn't take away from the intimacy of the experience, if that makes sense. In conclusion, yeah, these are awesome. If you have $2,000 to spend on a pair of earphones, I really don't think you'll be disappointed with these, so long as you understand that, you know, this isn't for a bass head. This isn't for someone looking for extra bells and whistles. It's really an earphone that gives just a true, really musical and pretty image of the mix. And it works well for all genres, in my opinion. Yeah, a really great earphone. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. You'll also find a lot of awesome stuff on our website and blog, majorhifi.com. You'll see comparison reviews of all sorts of fun stuff. And yeah, we'd love to see you there. All right, everybody, have a good day. See you next time. Peace.